Representative of Saudi Arabia for that statement. I give the floor to the representative of Venezuela. Thank you very much, Mr. President. In the interest of time, I will make a shorter version of the statement agreed upon by the Group of Friends in Defense of the UN Charter. President, our group places a great deal of importance on the Palestinian question, and we regret that this situation remains at a stalemate while the conditions of millions of people and the tragedy they are living every day on the ground continues to deteriorate. In this context, we renew our most serious concern over the catastrophic consequences, including in the humanitarian field, resulting from the ongoing brutal Israeli military operation and the crimes committed to date by the occupying power against the Palestinian people, particularly in the Gaza Strip, which has claimed the lives of thousands of innocent civilians, the majority of them women and children. And therefore, we cannot but stress once again the importance of urgently achieving an immediate, unconditional, permanent, and fully respected ceasefire in both Gaza and other areas under attack by the occupying power, as well as ensuring the full observance and compliance with international law, including IHL and relevant United Nations resolutions and agreements, confident that this will create the conditions that are needed today on the ground to facilitate the work of humanitarian actors in providing rapid and unhindered support and assistance to those in desperate need in a consistent and safe manner at scale, which is certainly critical for saving lives, particularly in the Gaza Strip, which has been under a complete humanitarian blockade for over 50 days now. We reiterate our full support for UNRWA in implementing its mandate. Mr. President, we emphasize the importance of the full and effective implementation of the ceasefire agreement previously reached. We call once again for a permanent end to hostilities, for the release of all hostages and detainees, for the withdrawal of Israeli occupying forces from Gaza, and for the start of a major reconstruction plan for Gaza, with international support swiftly mobilized based on the State of Palestine's plan. We underline that this should also result in the release of thousands of other Palestinians that for years have been held captive in Israeli prisons and detention centers. It is therefore of utmost importance to advance in all of these fields in order to preserve a political horizon that can ultimately lead us to the comprehensive end to this protracted and disastrous conflict. This brings us to reiterating the importance of ensuring that the resolutions of this body on the question of Palestine are both fully respected and implemented. This, needless to say, is critical for breaking the current status quo, which has only emboldened the occupying power to continue with total impunity in contempt of this body and international law, while at the same time it continues to perpetrate its decades-long policies of colonization, apartheid, and extermination against the Palestinian people. Mr. President, we express our serious concern at the continued attempts of the occupying power to ignite and explode the Middle East region. Once again, we call on those who have any influence to demand that Israel cease and desist from its aggressive policies and plans to expand the conflict and generate a spillover effect, mindful of the potential devastating consequences for the well-being of entire peoples and for peace, stability, and security of the entire region and beyond. Hence the importance of redoubling international efforts to effectively and immediately advance towards a much-needed process of accountability for all war crimes committed by Israel, the occupying power, against the people of Palestine, Lebanon, and other nationalities, in which it is hoped all relevant mechanisms of international justice are expected to play a responsible role. In this regard, we reiterate our appeal to the international community to take effective and concrete actions to compel the occupying power to adhere to international law, including through the continued denunciation of the prevailing double standards and selectivity in the application of the UN Charter and international law. Mr. President, we also call on responsible members of the international community to take urgent actions and to adopt decisively all necessary measures aimed at preventing the systematic attempts aimed at undermining, including by force and by resorting to illegal settlers the territorial integrity and viability of the Palestinian states. In this regard, we condemn all unilateral and unlawful Israeli steps aimed at creating facts on the ground, including inter alia, through the building of settlements, the demolition and confiscation of Palestinian properties, the forced displacement of the Palestinian people, and the pursuit of plans on formal annexation of Palestinian territory in the West Bank, including East Jerusalem. Mr. President, we conclude by stressing once again the need to work together decisively to ensure that we can, once and for all, put an end to the illegal Israeli occupation. Once and for all, we must ensure the independence of the Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. Once and for all, we must realize the inalienable rights of the Palestinian people. And once and for all, we must achieve a just, comprehensive and lasting solution to the question of Palestine in all its aspects, in accordance with international law, relevant UN resolutions, and the UN Charter, and on the basis of the two-state solution. Thank you, Mr. President.
Je remercie le représentant du Venezuela de son intervention.
I thank